他是世界3大男高音之一，他更是集各种纪录于一身的歌者。
More than 3,000 performances, 126 different roles.
如今68岁的他，仍然活跃在世界各地的舞台上。
Where does that stamina and energy come from?
It comes just from passion for what you do.
前无古人的记录，使得他成为歌剧的传奇。本期杨澜访谈录专访世界男高音歌唱家普拉西多·多明戈。
大家好，欢迎收看杨澜访谈录。多明戈是当今歌剧舞台上最伟大的艺术家。之所以这么说，是因为他扮演过126个不同的角色，演出歌剧多达3000余场。他在多方面的艺术才华和追求，也造就了一名真正文艺复兴式的领军人物。他是男高音，他是男中音，他是乐队指挥，他是教育家，同时他也是歌剧院的管理者。当今世界如此集大成者无出其右。然而，比这些更神奇的是，也许世界上有许多人从来没有机会踏入歌剧院，但是我敢说，所有的人几乎都听过多明戈的歌声。
2009年初，著名歌唱家多明戈再次来到北京，出任北京华滨紫金剧院的艺术总监。这是他在不到1年的时间里第2次来到中国。上一次是在2008年夏天奥运会的闭幕式上，他和中国歌唱家一起在奥林匹克体育场上向全世界演唱。
Was it a very special experience for the singing at the closing ceremony of the Olympic Games?
Yeah, of
I know
course.
because, of course, you have always been invited to sing at such, worldwide, huge events. But how was it special to sing at the closing ceremony with Song Ju-in?
It was very special because Song is a beautiful, Song Ju-in is a beautiful singer, is a wonderful artist, and Jimo is a tremendous director, and especially with all these things after all his films. Of course, everybody was expecting a spectacular ceremonies, and he did, really.
He delivered that.
He delivered something.
But what
very,
did
very
you
special.
feel at the stadium?
I feel
which is
a great
nicknamed.
emotion. I feel the fact of it's few times in your life you can be together with people that represents the whole world, And in that moment, in the stadium, the athletes, and in the tribune, the people coming from all around the world, you are there with everybody in brotherhood, with everybody with this tremendous togetherness, which is happening every 4 years, and with a spectacular preparation. I cannot tell you how much. I mean, this appearance there, it has been one of the things that they have bring me more reaction from people. Because of course I'm a classic singer, the opera. It is the greatest thing for me, but it's nevertheless it's a minority.
A
Who
theater can only host that much people.
But you are in front there at the closing of the Olympics, and everybody sees you around the world. So, and everybody was fascinated by the song, by the way the song was singing, was looking. And it was a very touching moment of the ceremony, so I was very happy.
其实早在8年前，他和帕瓦罗蒂、卡利拉斯一起组成的世界3大男高音，在紫禁城午门就已经为中国获得奥运会主办权做了一场令人难忘的演出。这是他在中国的第3次演出。
Everyone is so amazed by the ever possible achievement you have done. Everyone also knows that the voice, human voice, is notoriously tricky. Has it ever failed you?
Well, the voice is, we are human beings, and the voice is a very delicate instrument. There are two vocal cords and they live with you. It's not like you have a piano, or you have a violin, or you have any other kind of instrument. Yeah. You live with the instrument. And this instrument is affected by anything. It's affected by if somebody gives you a bad news.
If you cried.
If you cried, if you
had a
have
bad
a problem,
sleep.
if you haven't sleep, if you eat something that is wrong, so you have it here with you. So it's affected by anything. So it's very, very delicate.
Very delicate. What was some of the bad experiences you had with your voice?
No bad experiences. So now and then in your career, in my career, I have, you know, sometimes been. I will have to cancel some things because I have a cold, very bad cold, you know, or for tiredness, you know. But my voice has been very faithful. I have been singing for so many years now.
多明戈出生在西班牙马德里，父母经营了一个西班牙萨苏维拉剧团。他跟随剧团演出，移居到墨西哥，随后学习音乐，在以色列歌剧院开始演唱生涯。1968年，他首次登上美国大都会歌剧院的舞台。这次登台比预期的时间提前了1周。他被突然告知要替一位生病演员救场。
Well, I heard about this incident while you were driving to the Metropolitan Opera and was about to sing a different role.
Yeah, it's 40 years ago now, and I was warming my voice, and I was driving with my father. My wife and my mother cannot come to the opera because my wife was expecting a baby in a few days, and they called me from the theater when they were out shopping, and so I went with my father, and I was singing in the car, and some people in the next car they were laughing because I was singing, and I put down the window and I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "To the Metropolitan Opera." He said, "Well, don't laugh because you are going to listen to me tonight."
一出歌剧动辄3、4个小时，有时超过6个小时，对演员的体力也是极大的挑战。在多明戈最初登上歌剧舞台的几年里，他平均每3天要有1次演出。然而，如此繁多的演出却从来没有影响到他对歌剧表演的执着追求。
Well, in the past, people thought, you know, singing opera is like a vocal machine trying to hit the high Cs. But you really fused the drama and the music into a higher form of performance. And Tan Dun, a great friend of mine, also told me that he was amazed at your performing accuracy. It's almost like photographic accuracy on stage. Did you try to do that deliberately through your career? So to you, singing opera is not just singing, but also to create a character, basically.
It cannot be another way, you know. It cannot be another way. I don't know it. I think the public has to believe you as a character, you know. And but the most difficult thing, for instance, for me, it has been to, when I think about the Chinese people, and I said, am I able to convince them as being the emperor, you know?
Yeah.
You have so many films when you have emperors, right? And of course the camera is there, is another feeling, but in the theater you have to portray it different than if it will be the camera only there. Yet we have now a DVD of the production, you know?
Yes,
but
I've
it's
got that.
still theater. So when you are in the theater, you have to please the public,
whole
you know?
audience.
So when you are in the cinema and all you do is this,
It's not enough.
the camera is taking it with the camera. But in the theater, you just have to do something else, you know? And it is faster. With the camera, you can do it slower. You know, the eyes, they are different going to the camera. Any movement is simple with the camera, and when you are performing for the stage, for for the big people, you have to change some things, you know. You do like this to the camera,
it's out of frame.
Doesn't register, it's out of frame, you know.
Yeah.
But if you are in the theater, you have to do it, you know, you have to do it, but still, but sometimes even when, if you take your time and you do something very big, it registers also to the theater, so you have to negotiate.
丰富的舞台经验来自多明戈50年的演出生涯。至今，他已经塑造了126个角色，演出超过3400场，成为歌剧史上塑造角色最多、演出场次最多的男高音，还创造了演出后返场次数最多、谢幕时间最长的纪录。1991年在维也纳演出《奥赛罗》返场101次。1983年在奥地利谢幕，长达90分钟。
Used to hold the world record of the longest ovation on operatic stage, twice in Vienna, I believe. One with Otello, the other is with Bohemia, and 83 or 101 curtain calls was something unbelievable. Tell me your experiences over there.
Well, it was something almost then you don't know what to do anymore. You know, you are there, and the public calls you back,
and they refuse to go.
And you just tell them, you say, thank you. You just are with your colleagues there, and you just laugh with them, and then finally we sit down at the edge of the stage and say, so what we should do, you know? So, and once it happens to me also in Berlin, and what I did finally is I took a piano out and I sang something else, you know, because the public will never go.
Will never go. But how rewarding that was.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing the public, you know, the way they react. The operatic fans is very much like football fans, you know. They get so absolutely enthusiastic, you know. It's wonderful.
下节请看，因帕瓦罗蒂的去世，3大男高音成为记忆。
It's been a great loss for the world of music and.
半个世纪的舞台生涯，多明戈陶醉其中。
Every morning when I wake up, I say, I hope I can sing today.
请继续收看《杨澜访谈录》专访多明戈，永远的歌剧传奇。多明戈与另外2位著名男高音帕瓦罗蒂、卡利拉斯一起组成的世界3大男高音组合。他们一起的演唱会首先在1990年世界杯赛期间的罗马举行，初衷是为卡利拉斯国际血癌基金会筹款，但由于演唱会获得空前成功，此后3人一直合作演出了30多场，直到2007年帕瓦罗蒂去世，所有的乐迷才不得不承认这段辉煌已经过去。
Was the passing away of Pavarotti a very emotional thing to you?
Yeah, of course. You know, we have this great adventure, the three together, to do these 3 tenors concerts. And
More than 30 around the world.
Yeah, we did about 30 concerts, and we have a great fun performing, rehearsing, preparing, chatting, having dinners, and so on. And of course, in the last 3 years, it was impossible because Luciano starts to feel sick, and at the beginning we thought it was something just passager, something that it will get better, but unfortunately, so we lost him last year, and has been a great loss for the world of music, and in particular for Jose and for me. Well, very deep sadness that we won't be able to do those evenings again.
Tell me about one story of the fun that 3 of you truly enjoyed during the concerts.
Well, it was just the fact of, especially when we were singing the three together, it was kind of, you know, the level of singing, it was so great. And when one was doing a phrase, the other one, we were just enjoying it.
Did you improvise a little bit?
And then we said, you did this phrase beautiful. I try to do this phrase better.
So it's like a competition.
It was a friendly competition, and yes, sometimes we improvise things and we joke and we interchange with the public things, you know, which it was part of the program.
It was supposed to be unconventional when three of you first staged the three tenors concert. Some people even were not very happy about it. They thought it's a degrading of classical opera by putting a microphone before the singers.
Well, people, I tell you, they were very few of that, and too bad for them. You know, I mean, who wants their opinion? I'm sorry. This was a wonderful thing for the people, generally speaking. You know, it was the discovery of opera for many people, because many letters, thousands of letters we received of people saying, before I never thought of going to the opera, now I'm going.
下节请看，以歌唱为生命的人，歌唱带给他什么
If I am on the stage and the hall is empty, my first feeling and intuition is to sing something.
他又如何将歌唱生涯延续？
If you don't risk, you don't win. You know, I mean, I think that there is what it is. It shouldn't be monotonous, your career.
请继续收看《杨澜访谈录》专访多明戈，永远的歌剧传奇。
这里记录的是一个人和他的时代。
1946年，中国第一位原子物理女硕士王光美，放弃去美国读博士的机会，离开北平，奔赴延安，第一次见到了刘少奇。此时，季羡林刚刚从德国回到北平，成为北京大学教授，继续潜心研究梵文和吐火罗文。1982年，季羡林回到母校济南一中参加校友聚会。不远处的济南二中，17岁的巩俐最大的心愿是能考上一所师范学校。2006年，巩俐来到英国参加电影《迈阿密风云》的首映。不远处的克劳伦斯宫里，58岁的查尔斯正和卡米拉庆祝他们结婚1周年。此时，泳池里的菲尔普斯正备战北京奥运。在水立方，他一人夺得8枚金牌的传奇，将令世界为之惊叹。21世纪的第1个10年，杨澜访谈录走进这些历史风云人物，以独特视角为您讲述一个人和他的时代。
说实话，我一直认为自己还算是比较勤奋的，但是见到了多明戈，只有自愧不如，人家才是真正的劳动模范。坐了10几个小时的飞机来到中国，由于饮食和时差的缘故，他一夜没睡。接下来就是一整天的排练。演出之后，他还要满足观众签名、拍照的要求。等到大家都离去了，他还要和团队一起商量下一站演出的日程。他的助手告诉我，他1年只有10天的假期回墨西哥的老家，但是10天还不到，他就打电话回来说：“咱们还是开始工作吧，我快受不了了。”正因为如此，他留下了一句名言：“如果我休息，我就会生锈 ；If I rest, I rust.” Where does that stamina and energy come from? It's another puzzle for many people like us.
It comes just from passion for what you do. You know?
And where does the passion come from?
The passion comes from all these beautiful things that they are presented to me in this world that I have choice.
Did you ever expect that your career could last this long? You didn't expect to sing that long, did you?
No, I never dream.
So you have outlived your own dream, too.
I think so. I think that it's not easy to sing so many years, and even now, it's amazing. Sometimes every morning when I wake up, I say, well, I hope I can sing today. And it's enlarging my career, and I'm happy with it, you know. And I said I would never, I don't want to sing one more day than I should. But I don't want to sing one day less than I can. You know, I have played bells backstage, you know. I have conducted chorus backstage. I have made, you know, the voices for a pop singer, you know, so to do the back singers, you know. I've done many things in my life. But,
so now, as a conductor of Philharmonic Orchestra, you know all the tricks and basically all the instruments. Nobody can play a bad game with you.
We try not to be, I mean, I still believe that in music, a conductor, you know, you have to be on top of the situation. You have to lead everybody. Said, still people can play something, and you might not hear it. You know, if it's in between the harmony, you are going to, you know, unless something is really missing badly, you know. But I think they can trick you. You know, if somebody wants. I mean, you shouldn't be so. You know, how you call, so vain and think that you can hear everything, you know. Of course, you do, you know, more or less. So if something is lacking or if something is added, you feel it. But it is an ocean of instruments, you know. When you are conducting, it's such a tremendous ensemble, you know, then it's not always easy.
I heard that you actually can name all the players in your orchestra. Is that true? In your busy schedule, you can basically call their names.
Well, I wish so. I wish so, because there are many changes sometimes. I know, of course, people that I have been working for a long time, you know, but I don't have that kind of memory. I wish, you know, in a theater, you see so many people. I mean, you work with so many people together, but when you are conducting, then for a long time, so then you naturally know the people.
Have you ever panicked on stage? Like in the early days, you don't have the electronic prompter, and if you forget your lyric or something, what did you do?
Well,
you turn around and
you are human. Sometimes you have to make it up. You know, you have to
make up your,
you know, to change a word or something. That happened, you know, not too often. But the panic on the stage is every day you have to perform.
Even today?
Oh yes, when you have to sing, you are always very worried. I'm not worried when I have to conduct, but when I have to sing, I'm very worried.
But they also called it a creative tension, that which is actually necessary for a great performance.
2009年，多明戈将要塑造一个新的角色，威尔第歌剧《西蒙·波卡涅格拉》中的主角。这个角色不是一个男高音，这次他要改唱男中音。
Lately, you have announced your shift from being a tenor to a baritone, which is another unbelievable thing and very demanding thing for many of your colleagues. Are you sure it's the final shift in your career? Why take the risk at this stage of your career? You have established everything. If you can't hit a higher note, you can be happy with a lower key, you know.
Well, it's just because this baritone part, Simon Boccanegra, is such a wonderful part. And I always say that was the last opera I want to do, even if it was not a tenor role. But now I have a problem, is that I am still singing after these Boccanegras. So I hope that everything goes all right. I have committed now in 5 theaters to do it. And but the thing is that I have roles. It's not that I want to change to baritone, because this will be an exception. Maybe I do 1 or 2 baritone roles only.
I see.
But I continue with the tenor roles, you know.
But what's your attitude towards risks?
I think that
you are attracted to it.
If you don't risk, you don't win. You know. I mean, I think that there is what it is. It shouldn't be monotonous, your career. Your career should be full of surprises and adventures, you know.
What was the biggest adventure, biggest risk you have ever taken in your career?
Perhaps I haven't taken it yet. Maybe that's the Boca Negra. Who knows? Maybe that's the Boca Negra. You know, but everybody will think, because I did my first Otello being very young. I was 34 years old, and it's really something that that everybody was afraid. I took the challenge and I lived for it. And now, after 3,400 performances as a singer and 400 performances as a conductor, you know, it's an immense amount of work, which I think I can say that probably it's very difficult to find somebody that has done as much.
Yeah.
You know how many evenings in the theater that represents, you know.
68岁的多明戈依然为自己安排了每年40余场的音乐会、50多场的歌剧演出，这样不可思议的日程。再加上他排练的时间，可以想象他几乎没有业余生活。然而，多明戈并不因此感到遗憾。他说，能够在舞台上扮演如此多的角色，表现如此丰富的情感，是人生最大的快乐和幸运。甚至这些角色给了他一种面对死亡的力量。Have you ever tried standing on an empty stage, facing a vacant theater? And if there was such a moment, what did you say to yourself?
Sometimes I have done a different experience. It's a beautiful feeling to go to an empty theater and sit in the public, sit
in a seat,
in an empty theater and meditate. If I am on the stage and the hall is empty, my first feeling and intuition is to sing something. To sing something, to hear you are on the stage, so you cannot lose the possibility to sing, you know. So that will be the first feeling I will have, you know.
What would you want to sing if it's empty
Anything.
stage?
Anything. Probably I am singing a phrase that I'm preparing for my next opera or something. And I have something that I do always. When I leave the stage in a city, I always go, after my last performance, I go to the stage when the theater is empty, and I sing the first phrase of the next opera I will sing in that theater, to be sure that I will come back.
多明戈是上天赐给人类的礼物，因为有了它，许多尘封多年的歌剧得以复活；因为有了它，更多的人能够欣赏到歌剧，体会到歌剧的魅力。他不会离开舞台，因为这就是他存在的理由。他既不会比该唱的少唱一天，也不会比能唱的多唱一天。那么究竟他能唱多久呢？他自己说，还是让上帝去考虑这个问题吧。好，感谢你收看本期的杨澜访谈录，我们下周见。
Se alegran cielito lindo los corazones.